Okay, the patch are finally in. Let's redo the Ascendancy tier list. There's just a little bit of changes, not that much. One is very surprising and very good. Very happy to see that change. Let's start with Titan. Okay, Titan now has a little bit of boost for anything that is using slam skills. 1 in 4 to create another slam instead of 1 in 5, and a 10% more damage against heavy stun enemies. Now, while this is good, it does not change the rating at all of Titan. I did not change the points at all because the points were based on just the fact that Titan you can make any type of build with it. The slam build was kind of weak. I was not basing the stats on the slam build, but now the slam builds are much better and closer to these points. So I would say it's a buff if you're using maces. Okay, so let's go back to Warbringer. Now Warbringer, they kind of buffed the Warcries because they make it so that your Warcry AoE is the same for Exploding Corpse. That's pretty much what this means. So it is a buff, but they nerfed Turtle Charm. You have less block chance. Wait, the Turtle Charm Ascendancy passive skill now has 25% less block chance. Let me check this for 1 second, because I think that might be a buff actually. Is that a buff? Oh, it's a buff. Wait a minute, guys. I thought it was a nerf. Holy. Okay, I put Warbringer to I remove a point for survivability because like before it was insane survivability, and then it was like but never mind. I mean, Warbringer is still very good in hardcore, I guess. Nothing changed. Because I also saw like the Case and Jade one is reworked and it's based on like your max life instead of like a fixed amount. So if you have more max life, maybe it's even better now. But it might be even better. And KSJ spinning skill has now scrolled lower to 10 instead of 15. Yeah, I'm gonna say overall Warbringer is buffed, so nothing to worry about there if you wanted to play that. Now, Gemling legionnaire. In terms of a league start, this is a complete buff. Integrated Ascendancy passive skill. Instead of +3 skill gem, which I thought was so useless, it now provides you 20% increased damage per socket right support gems. That's so good. It's so good. If you can get an early 3 link and vault it and get like a 4 link, that's 80% damage if you're only using red support gems. That's insane. That's completely insane. And there's so much like new support gems that this is 100% going to be possible to do. Now they even changed the +1 to all skills to +2, but obviously if you're attribute stacker, big nerf for late game, which is perfect in my opinion. So the Gemling, I did give him 0.5 more in terms of killing uniques and killing rares, just because of that extra damage you're getting from instead of the +3 skill slot or whatever. The survivability went down because you're losing 20% of your, strength or int. So, but just by a bit, survivability, I think it's still going to be good. It's just not going to be as insane as it used to be, let's say. Now, let's move on to the Witch Hunter. Now, Witch Hunter, okay. Witch Hunter, I mean, it was the top one on my list. Now, it's the top 0, it's the best. Okay, nothing to say anymore. They literally buffed it, even though the 40% more damage missing on their based on their missing concentration does not really matter because it's not something that you would probably take. It's probably if you're killing uniques and rares, it's better to take Decimating Strike and Culling and you want the AoE, so you wouldn't even get this. So it's pretty much whatever. But there's a buff, because instead of losing 50% of your armor and evasion, now you have 35% less armor and evasion. And the cooldown is reduced, so it's up more. So I'm gonna have to give Witch Hunter a 1 in survivability instead of 0.5. So it brings to a 16 points out of 20 for hardcore, and 19. Well, honestly, the 0.5 for the survivability doesn't matter in softcore, but still, I'll give it a 19. 19 is fair. 19 is pretty fair. Now, Deadeye, nothing changed. The only thing that changed about Deadeye is the fact that Barrage has been completely gutted. Somehow. Like, not completely, but it's not as good, okay? Let's say that. So, no change there. Pathfinder, big buff, guys. Big buff. 50% less movement speed penalty instead of 30. That's huge. That's huge. Now, there's a new notable also. 30% of evasion rating also grants elemental damage reduction. Excuse me. That's really good. So I give Pathfinder 1 extra point in survivability just for that. It also augmented the viability, and it also every concoction got buffed. Maybe not the poison one, but the bleed one and stuff with the herald of blood that they announced. You're gonna be clear. You're gonna be clearing very good, and it's looking really good for Pathfinder. I went from a 13.5 points out of 20 to a 16.5 in hardcore. This is no joke. This is looking very promising. It was not really used, right, last patch, so good for them, and good for Witch Hunter also. I mean, and now Acolyte of Shayula. Okay. This is insane. Darkness is really good, okay, by the way. And Darkness by itself is extremely good for surviving. And now they buffed it by 60%. They buffed Darkness by 60%. Oh, it's not hit. Instead of giving Mana Leash is instant, it instead provide Mana Leash recover based on other damage type as well as physical damage. Holy. I don't know if this has to be tested again, because right now the way I see it, other damage type, that means maybe it's only on attack skills, right? Oh, that would make sense. Okay, if it's only attack skills, it's not as good as I thought it would be. But because like if let's say you could use Freezing Shard and Flame Wall to get Mana Leech back, that would make the Ascendancy insane. I literally went from 11.5 to 16.5 with that top, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm pretty sure that it's only for attacks. So we're gonna have to tune it down a little bit, but it does look very promising, and I think unarmed attacks and mom and like getting mana back and stuff could be a thing. We'll have to see, but it does make the Ascendancy look a lot better. Maybe not as good as I thought, but a lot better. Okay, now the Invoker. Invoker has been nerfed. It's a bit unfortunate because I think it's a bit of an over nerf, but we'll have to see. Especially if they like the nerf every herald, and now it doesn't chain anymore. The bell has a global cooldown, which I thought would happen, and it exactly happened. So, and it just does a way less damage in general, while you will only have one. So, I don't know. Is it deserved? It's a rough one, honestly. It's rough. It's rough for Invoker and Shayula. I won't lie. Yeah, for honestly, for this reason, like Shayula, I'll give it like a 14.5 maximum. I was 16.5, but I don't think it's gonna work with the spell damage stuff. I read it wrong first. For Invoker, survivability went down. Okay, and by the way, like uniques and rares damage, like I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to like literally gut it because I think it was 4.5 here. We're gonna have to gut it to like 3.5. Like it's like the bell nerf is so insane. It's like more insane than I thought. It's actually way worse. Like your clear is not good. Your clear is not good anymore because no more heralds. Your survivability went down, and now your single target got a lot worse because your build by itself does less damage, and you cannot stack them. So I mean, if you're playing monk this league, good luck, good luck to you, because I would say it went down 1, so 2, 2.5. Man, I can't believe it. Is Shayula better? I think so, man. I'm like 11.5. Like I'll give it. It's supposed to be 11. Well, I'll give it 11.5 for hardcore. Dude, Invoker is in a really rough spot. I think right now. We'll have to see, but it's not looking good. I thought just a global cooldown on bells would have been fine, but they over nerfed it. I think. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. It's gonna be a really rough early game. I'm gonna say that. Now, the next one was Blood Mage, but Blood Mage, they did some changes, but honestly, they're so insignificant that I'm not even gonna do anything about it. Now, Infernalist, that's a long one, and is the one I understand the less. But what I can say is that 20% of damage from is taken from your Hellbound's life before you no longer causes that, so much weaker. That's all I can see. Now Demon Flame is like invert. Like now it has a maximum for the first one, and then so basically speedrunning is gutted for Demon Flame. And instead of 4% increased mana, it's 3%, so it's gutted if you go mana immune a bit in defense. It seems like everything in terms of like all defensive this class is kind of went down. So what I did for Infernalist is I just gave it 0.5 down from 14.5 to 14. Like, it's really not a big deal, I think. It's just going to be a bit harder to survive, but barely noticeable. Like it's nothing like Invoker. Like Invoker, like good luck, dude. Okay, Chronomancer. Okay, now Chronomancer, big buff. Holy, this is a big buff. It went from having 33% uptime for 50% cast speed to 50%. Half the time you have more cast speed. So basically you have 5 seconds in the fight where you reposition yourself, and then you have 5 seconds where you're full blast. That's what I see right now. Looking crazy good. Wait, I did a new flaw Ascendancy passive skill that grants the Unleash skill. Ain't Unleash a support gem? I really don't know about this, but this is good. So for this, I give Chrono 1 extra point on killing uniques and rares. Honestly, it just makes it better. It's great. Stormweaver. I would say a big nerf, like really big, like almost 50% less in exposure and effective resistance. No longer provide 50% less shot duration, provide 50% less magnitude of shock. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. No longer 4% increase maximum mana, provide mana regen, so that got your mom a bit, right? Your mom is less powerful for big hits to be taken. This is less good for Arc and Surge. So overall, man, all I have to say is Stormweaver is going down in the 0.5 points for killing rares and uniques. And I would say for clear also. And survivability, I'll still give it 0.5. But it's not looking good for hardcore. I would not play this Ascendancy for hardcore at all. I think in standard it's still a fine Ascendancy. It's just that for hardcore, really not. I think it's going to be fine because the mana cost of spells are still going to be high. It's just the mana skills of the mana cost of skills, attack skills that are going to be much different. Yeah. So that's. Oops. I did not mean to do that. So yeah, that's about it for the Ascendancy changes. Obviously, there's other changes, like really good changes that have been changed. Spedification no longer 7% increase attribute; it's plus 13, so it's better early game and worse late game. For attribute stacker, what else? There was like a skill change that is really important that I wanted to look. It's by the way, Bone Storm for minion build is not as good anymore. The debuff is just not as good for minion build. Overall, you're losing damage. Blink is now a travel skill, and they said that now blinks are now being completely changed. Like if you have a travel skill with cooldown, it's shared with every travel skills. So that's something to think about. They have like a global cooldown. You cannot just like spam travel skills. I don't see it here, but they did put it, I think, in the player thing. And that's a huge one. By the way, for hardcore now, you're gonna be dying a lot more than you think you would. Let me check. Where is it? It's super important change. Like the most important change ever. Heavy stun duration on players now 3 seconds, previously 1 second. Good luck. Good luck in hardcore, guys. This is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun because when you're getting stunned before, it was not the. It was you were kind of dead. Now you're dead. Now you're dead, by the way. And when you're stunned, you cannot block and you cannot evade. This is making every evade character so much weaker. So much weaker. So, yeah. Good luck, Monk. Monk is in big trouble. I would say Ranger, too. Like, it's going to be so much harder to survive overall. So, yeah. Now, okay, for skill change, I'm gonna do a full video about new skills that I think that are gonna be a good early game. But Spark is gutted early game, and yeah, Frostbomb has been actually buffed, guys. One of the best early level gem is buffed, so use that. Glacial Cascade, that's not a big change. What else? Let's see. I just want to look quickly. Rolling Slam. Okay, guys, Rolling Slam is actually something that could be used now. Because like from 1 second extra spell attack time to from 1.5 to 1 second is huge. Huge. Now you can be the Queen of Filth. The Queen of Filth build is officially possible. It's officially possible, guys. Tempest Bell shared between different copies of the skill. Holy. Tempest Bell only triggers Shockwave every 250 milliseconds, which is probably, and it's a strict limit, not a cooldown. Like what? And they literally gutted the damage. Oh my god, dude! From 96% to 211 to from 96 to 211 to 60 to 132. Like what? And now it's like gain as extra instead of deal 30% more. Dude. Impact Bell now deals 146 to 490. Okay, there's actually a buff. There's actually a buff of the initial hit when you place the bell. But that's late game, not early game. And now it requires 10 combo instead of 4. Oh my god, guys. Monk is dead. Monk is so dead. Holy, Monk is dead for hardcore, guys. It's so dead. Okay, I'll tell you why Monk is dead. Because Monk for hardcore, the most important is to not get stunned. Now when you get stunned, it's 3 seconds. The way you would like kind of make it viable is just having like really good damage with your bell and not having to like do the fight, basically, like do the mechanics. You're just like skipping mechanics because you kill it so fast. But now you're not killing it fast. You're always getting stunned with Monk, because Monk just has like it's just such an easy class to get stunned with. I don't know, man. Where's Monk? Invoker? I give this a 10. Shayula, I mean, I was like 14.5 after these changes. Dude, I don't even know, like 11. Okay, and by the way, guys, if you play Monk, don't play quarterstaffs. At least don't play bell based. Like, play something, I don't know, man. Figure it out. Oh my god. Okay, guys, that's it. This is way too long, but like I had to add at the end here because like this is. If you're a Monk player, good luck. If you enjoy Monk so much and you want to play it, cool. If you play in standard, I think it's not that bad. If you play hardcore, man, good luck, dude. All my luck to you. If you're playing quarterstaff Monk, and I send you my prayers.